Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'm sure and certain that you all have heard of the horrendous attacks on October 7th when masked gunmen broke through the border fences of Israel and mercilessly killed 1,400 people and injured countless more. This has left a scar on the soul of Israel, which any right-minded person would have to deplore the attacks that happened and how anybody can stand with the Palestinian flag after what happened on October 7th is beyond me. But maybe what hasn't come to light until a month later is that the very people that were meant to be covering these events actually were accomplices along with Hamas, and thanks to honest reporting we now know that the Reuters, CNN, the Associated Press, the New York Times were there on October 7th, how they knew where to be, where at what time. And because of this, Israel demands answers from CNN, the Associated Press, Reuters, the New York Times, over claims that freelance photographers embedded with Hamas to cover the October 7th attack. These journalists were accomplices in crimes against humanity. Isaiah has filed photos for CNN and the Associated Press since October 7th. Some show an Israeli tank being set on fire and ransacked by Hamas militants. Photo has emerged of him with Hamas leader Yahweh Sinwar. CNN denied having prior knowledge of the attack in a statement to thedailymail.com. All four outlets deny having any prior knowledge of the Hamas attack and insist they have cut ties with the reporters. The New York Times today has set out at the honest reporting for its vague insinuations, defending the photographer it had hired, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other cabinet ministers are demanding more information. The National Public Diplomacy Directorate in the PMO views with utmost gravity the photojournalists working with international media joined in covering the brutal attacks of murder perpetrated by Hamas terrorists on October 7th in the communities adjacent to the Gaza Strip. These journalists were accomplices in crimes against humanity. Their actions were contrary to professional ethics. Overnight, the GPO issued an urgent letter to the bureau chiefs of the media organisations that employed these photographers and sought clarifications on the matter. The National Public Diplomacy Directorate demands that immediate action be taken. A statement posted on Israel Prime Minister's X account reads, Yosef Masoud, Ali Mahmoud and Hatem Ali have also been providing Western media outlets with photos of the conflict since October 7th. They have worked with CNN, the AP, Reuters, and the New York Times, according to an expose by Honest Reporting. These are grave concerns over what each of the photojournalists knew and when. Israel's government has demanded an explanation for the media outlets, all of which have denied having prior knowledge to the attack. In response to the criticism, a CNN spokesperson told the dailymail.com we had no prior knowledge of the October 7th attacks. Hassan Islah, who was a freelance journalist working for us and many other outlets, was not working for the network on October 7th. As of today, we have severed all ties with him. In a previous statement, the network said it had not found reason to doubt the journalistic accuracy of his work. The New York Times issued a full throttle denial of the allegations. It had hired photographer Yusuf Masood, whose photographs portray the violence in Gaza. The accusation that anyone at the New York Times had advanced knowledge of the Hamas attacks or accompanied Hamas terrorists during the attacks is untrue and outrageous. It is reckless to make such allegations, putting our journalists on the ground and in Israel and Gaza at risk. The Times has extensively covered the October 7th attacks and the war with fairness, impartiality, and an abiding understanding of the complexities of the conflict. Though Yusuf was not working for the Times on the day of the attack, he has since done important work for us. There is no evidence for Honest Reporting's insinuations. Our review of his work shows that he was doing what photojournalists always do during major events, documenting the tragedy as it unfolded. The newspaper said. The Associated Press, in a statement, denied having prior knowledge to the attack and insisted the first photos received were taken after it began. The first picture AP received from many freelancers show they were taken more than an hour after the attacks began. No AP staff were at the border at the time of the attacks, nor did any AP staffer cross the border at any time. We are no longer working with Hassan Islah, who had been an occasional freelancer for AP and other international news organisations in Gaza. AP uses images taken by freelancers around the world, and we accept freelance photos. We take great steps to verify the authenticity of the image and that they show what is purported. The role of AP is to gather information on breaking news events around the world wherever they happen, even when those events are horrific and cause mass casualties. Honest Reporting notes that the photographer Mahmoud Faik, Abu Mustafa, and Yasser Qudi happened to be on the border just in time for a mass infiltration. In response to the reports, a Reuters spokesperson said that the agency acquired pictures on October 7th from photographers that it did not previously have a relationship with. You see, these journalists were seen with holding grenades in their hands and were there at the exact time. How can that be? There has to be some answers to this by these journalists more than what they're just saying. They've hired people who are bent towards the Palestinians, and we're all too happy to be there for the breakthrough. How they knew to be there at that time at 7:30 in the morning is beyond me. Tell me what you think. Shalom, Maranatha, Hallelujah.